Good morning, third graders. So today's lesson is on finding missing side lengths when you're finding perimeter. This lesson's a little more challenging, but I know you guys are up for it because you've been doing so great with finding perimeter. You're going to need something to write on and a writing utensil, so I'll give you a moment. If you can pause this video to make sure you've got what you need. All right, and if you're ready, let's keep going. All right, so first, you don't have to make this bubble map, so you're off the hook. You'd be doing this if we were in class. But I just want you to take a moment and think, what do you know about perimeter so far? Just take a moment. What does perimeter mean? How do you figure it out? Okay. So, perimeter is just finding the distance around a shape, right? We've practiced a lot of finding perimeter of squares and rectangles. We know that the opposite sides of squares and rectangles are the same length, and squares actually have all equal sides. But we can also find the perimeter of objects that aren't squares or rectangles. Those might be a little bit trickier, but if they give us the measurements, no problem. We just add them all together. Well, today we're switching it up a little bit. So what I have here, if you notice, it says the perimeter, P stands for perimeter, equals 30 feet. But looking at this triangle, I've got one side is 7 feet, another side is 10 feet. Sorry for that noise in the background. I'm hatching chicks. I'll let you know in 2 weeks how it turns out. All right, so back to this. We're missing one of the sides of the triangle. Okay, and that's what we have to figure out. So I like this. It's kind of like a riddle. Well, what do you know about perimeter? Perimeter is the distance around the shape. If we add 7 plus 10, that gives us the distance for those two sides, but then we're missing that third distance, okay? So let's think of it this way. We know 7 plus 10 equals 17, plus how much more will give us 30? I'm going to give you a moment to solve that on your paper. If you need to pause this video, pause the video. All right, welcome back, guys. So here I'm showing my work. So what I had to figure out was, okay, if I add all the sides, 7 plus 10 plus blank would give me 30 for the perimeter. If I add my 7 and 10 together, that gives me 17. So 17 plus blank equals 30. Well, one way to do that would be to do 30 take away 17, which gives me 13. So 13 feet would be the missing side. Another way is you could take 17 and keep counting up until you reach 30. So that's how you find the missing side. It's not letting me go to the next slide. Here we go. Okay. Back at you with a goat pen. Miss Rowland is building a goat pen. She has some feet of fencing. She plans on making it into a shape. She's made one side a certain number of feet. Well, this is a weird word problem because there's no numbers. So we're missing some information that I need to give you. Let's keep going. Miss Rowland is building a goat pen. She has 30 feet of fencing. She plans on making it into a shape. She's made one side a certain number of feet. Let's think about this. She has 30 feet of fencing. What does that mean to our problem? Is that one of the sides? Or is that our total length of the shape or of the pen? That would be our total length of the pen of the shape. So 30 feet is actually our perimeter. That's important to know as we're reading this word problem. Let's get some more information. Okay, Miss Rowland is building a goat pen. She has 30 feet of fencing, so that's our perimeter. She's making the pen in the shape of a rectangle. She's made she's made one side 7 feet. So now we know that this rectangle, one of the sides is 7 feet. That actually tells us something else too. Doesn't that tell us the opposite side is also 7 feet? I wonder if we have enough information now. What is the other side length of her pen? Okay. So let's think about what we know. If we were using UPS check, we would be writing down or underlining that the perimeter is 30 feet. We know that. We know one side is 7 feet, which actually tells us that another side is 7 feet, right? Because it's rectangle shaped. So for our plan, we need to draw a rectangle and label the sides we know, and guess and check for the other side. We could guess or check, but I can also show you a little strategy. Okay, so here we have a picture that I've drawn, right? And you can see I've got two sides labeled with the 7 feet. Ooh, I forgot my units. And then the question marks for the sides we don't know that we're trying to find, right? So if we add all of this together, it'll look like this. 7 plus 7 plus blank equals 30. If I go ahead and combine that 7 and 7, that means 14 plus blank equals 30. Okay? If we go ahead and do the 30 take away 14, that leaves us with 16. Okay? Which means the blank plus blank equals 16. Those would be our missing sides. We also know that the two blank sides will be the same length, right? It's a rectangle. Do you know a double that makes 16? I'll give you a moment if you want to pause the video, see if you can figure that out. All right, so the correct answer is 8. 8 feet are the missing sides because we know that 8 plus 8 equals 16. And if we were to double check, which is always important with UPS check, if we add 7 plus 7 plus 8, we would get 30. All right, so here I have a practice problem for you. All right, kind of tricky like the goat pen, but you follow the same steps. So pause the video, see if you can figure it out. When you're ready to see if you got it right, or if you're just not too sure yet, continue playing the video. All right, so I'm going to reveal the answer. Uh-oh, I went to the next one. So along the bottom here, we know that the opposite side would be 12 as well. So 12 plus blank would equal 26. So we know that 24 plus blank would equal 26. If I subtract and do the 26 take away 24, I'm left with 2, which means blank plus blank, those two missing sides, equal 2. What double equals 2? The answer is 1 feet. All right, I've got one more problem for you. Okay, so pause the video to solve, and when you're ready, just hit play, or if you're still kind of stuck, you can hit play to see the answer. All right, so here is our solution for this problem. We were given that the perimeter is 46 and one of the sides is 13. That means the opposite side is also 13. So we know to write the equation for perimeter, 13 plus blank equals 46. So if we combine those two 13s, we'll have 26 plus blank equals 46. Trying to figure out those blanks. If you go ahead and subtract 46 take away 26, you're left with 20, which means blank plus blank equals 20. What double equals 20? The answer is 10. All right, friends. This concept is a little tricky, so we're actually going to work on this again tomorrow with a Khan Academy video and then some practice problems. All right, if you need to, please review the video and we'll keep working on it. Thanks.